So I'm going to talk about a comment that was left on the video for the Uberti reproduction of the Remington New Model Army, or 1858. Now this was a comment that was left by Jake and John Saunter, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. His comment was, little suggestion, before you cock the hammer, keep your finger out of the trigger guard. Single actions have a very light trigger. I've seen people cock the hammer and their finger was in there and pulled the trigger by accident when the gun was pointing up or left, right, etc. Well, he actually has a good point there. I'm going to show you this real quick, that this is a black powder revolver and I've got no caps or powder or anything in here, so this thing is empty. One thing that is very true with any single action, and also double single actions when they are in single action, is that this is a very, very light trigger pull here. It doesn't take a lot to really set that off, and it's very easy if when you're cocking it you have your finger in the trigger for you to end up accidentally pulling that there. And when you're cocking it, you may not necessarily have it exactly right on aim. And the reason I'm mentioning this here is because this is something I've actually done before with my 686. When I have it in single action, it has a very light trigger pull, and I have fired it when I'm cocking it because I've been stupid and left my finger in the trigger guard there. Now fortunately for me, I've always had it pretty close to on aim, and when I mean pretty close to on aim, I mean like pointed in the general direction of the berm. So fortunately for me, I've never accidentally shot anything that I shouldn't. As I've talked about in one of my videos about gun safety, that the gun rules actually have a lot of redundancy in them. If you are always aware of what's in the general vicinity of your target, if you're keeping it aimed in the general direction of your target all the time and aimed at something that you're okay with shooting, that can cover if you accidentally are leaving your finger on the trigger when you're not actually wanting to shoot. And I don't know, you just kind of get in a shooting thing and you just like, and you cock it, you go, you shoot, and then you just go straight back to cock again. And if you're like lifting it up or left to right or something, yeah, it's very easy on that thumb action to accidentally bring that trigger finger back. So that is a very good safety thing to talk about there, and it's something that I have actually been bad about at times and messed up on. So it's good for me to point it out to y'all, and it's a habit that all of us need to get out of. Another thing that was brought up in the comments about this one is loading 5 cylinders versus 6. And the concern with a lot of people on loading 6 is that you could end up accidentally setting one of them off pretty easily if you have it rested on it. That the little safety notches are an alright idea, but if the trigger's pulled back, they can manage to slide over and then go and fall down on a cap there. Generally speaking, the caps take a lot to go off, pushing on them like with the stick I was using there to try to set them, that generally isn't going to set them off. Really pushing them with the stick, if you're using any type of capper, whether it's the nice metal cappers or the 3D printed star capper, the capper itself is pushing on the back of the cap when it sets it on there, so that's really no different than pushing on the back of it with the stick there. I would generally say if you're at the range and you are going to be immediately shooting it, that you're okay putting 6 rounds in there, that is not a problem to load all 6. If you're going to be waiting at all, I mean, if you're going to be sitting it down on the table and waiting, or if you're going to be carrying it or something, then you probably need to go ahead and just load 5 in it so that it's always sitting over an empty nipple there. I think most people that are out at a range are shooting it pretty much right away, that they aren't setting it down and stuff. And I don't think a lot of people are carrying these. There's some that are, there's some that have legal reasons that they carry black powder arms, but I don't think many people are carrying these as everyday carries. I think most people, even like your guys that really want revolvers, are generally carrying cartridge guns. So anyway, that's my thinking on the 5 versus 6, and that's also my advice, or not my advice, someone else's advice to me, which I'm passing on to you because it is good, which is to keep your finger out of the trigger guard while you are cocking. And that's all that I've got to really talk about with this today. I'm sure that any of you that agree or disagree with me will let me know down in the comments. If you found this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and a like. You can go down into the comment section and leave any thoughts you have down there. And if you're interested, you can also subscribe to my channel and click the little bell notification to make sure that you catch all the videos that I post so you don't miss anything. I'm Jeremy with Poindexter G, and we'll see you next time.